At exactly 5:52 p.m. on May 6, 2013, the Cleveland 911 dispatch center received a panicked call from a young woman.
911, what's your emergency?
Her voice was breathless, trembling, but urgent. "Help me! I'm Amanda Berry. I've been kidnapped and I've been missing for 10 years. I'm free now." The dispatcher, stunned, tried to confirm. "You said you're Amanda Berry?" Yes, I've been held. I'm at 2207 Seymour Avenue. Hurry, before he comes back." The operator didn't know it yet, but they were about to uncover one of the most horrifying secrets ever kept behind suburban walls. In 2003, Amanda Berry was just 16 years old, a normal teenager from Cleveland, Ohio. She had gotten a job at Burger King and was saving up for a car. But one day, after a shift, she never came home. Her family thought maybe she ran away, though Amanda's mom, Luana, was convinced something worse had happened. She was right, because Amanda hadn't disappeared. She had been taken by a man named Ariel Castro. He was a former school bus driver, lived in a rundown 2-story house with boarded-up windows. On the outside, he was unremarkable, friendly even. He played bass in a salsa band, waved at neighbors, walked his dog. But on the inside, he was a monster. Amanda had known Castro slightly. He was her friend's dad. That's how he lured her. He offered her a ride home after work. She hesitated, but trusted him enough to get in the car. Instead of taking her home, he drove to his house on Seymour Avenue. When they got inside, he offered her a tour. She noticed it was cluttered, dark, strange. But before she could react, he slammed a door behind her. She was locked in. Then came the chains. The room she was trapped in had no door handle on the inside. The windows were nailed shut, the walls were soundproofed. Castro had built it that way on purpose. For the next 10 years, Amanda Berry would live in that room, but she wouldn't be alone, because she wasn't his first victim. In 2002, a year before Amanda was taken, Castro had kidnapped 21-year-old Michelle Knight. Michelle was on her way to a court appointment involving custody of her son. She never made it. Her family filed a missing persons report, but over time, people stopped looking. Michelle was older. She had a tough upbringing. The assumption was she'd run away. She hadn't. Like Amanda, she had accepted a ride from Castro. Like Amanda, she had been chained, starved, and locked in a room that no one outside that house even knew existed. And then, in 2004, Castro took a third victim, Gina DeJesus. Gina was only 14 years old, the same age as his own daughter's friend. He offered her a ride home from school. She never got there. He locked her in a different room, and over time he forced the women into unspeakable conditions. He beat them, starved them, assaulted them, physically, sexually, psychologically. He chained them up by the ankles and wrists. He installed alarms on the doors and kept them isolated from each other for weeks, sometimes months. At night, he would blare loud music so neighbors couldn't hear screams. And the baby. In 2006, Amanda Berry gave birth. She was still a prisoner, chained to a bed, barely fed, terrified. But in a small, inflatable pool in one of Castro's rooms, she gave birth to a baby girl, Jocelyn. Ariel Castro didn't kill Jocelyn. In fact, he loved her. He played with her, took her to the park, showed her the backyard, let her call him Daddy. But Amanda was still a prisoner. She knew her daughter was growing up inside a cage, and one day, if they didn't escape, Jocelyn would grow up thinking this was normal. So Amanda began looking for weaknesses. She listened, watched, planned, and in May 2013, she got her chance. That afternoon, Castro left the house, forgetting for the first time in a decade to lock one of the doors properly. Amanda noticed. She pushed it. It opened. She ran. With Jocelyn in her arms, Amanda sprinted to the front door, which was still bolted, but she screamed through the mail slot and banged until a neighbor heard her. "Help me, I'm Amanda Berry." Charles Ramsey, a neighbor eating McDonald's next door, kicked in the door and pulled her out. He later told reporters, "Bro, I knew something was wrong when a pretty little white girl ran into a black man's arms screaming for help. Dead giveaway." Amanda called 911. Within minutes, police raided the house. They found Michelle Knight and Gina DeJesus inside, still alive. Ariel Castro was arrested that same day. When questioned, he showed no remorse. In fact, he called himself addicted to sex and claimed the girls wanted to be there. He was charged with 913 counts, including kidnapping, rape, and aggravated murder for the forced miscarriages he caused. He pled guilty and was sentenced to life plus 1,000 years. But just 1 month into his sentence, he was found dead in his prison cell. He had hanged himself with a bedsheet. For 10 years, 3 girls were held in a house surrounded by neighbours, a place where trick-or-treaters rang the doorbell, dogs barked, mail got delivered, and yet no one truly saw what was happening inside, because some cages don't have bars, and some monsters don't hide in shadows. Sometimes they wave from their porch.